Hey friends, it's Lady Ambrosia. I hope you all are doing well. I have been very, very busy. We finally got the fence finished though in the backyard, and it's amazing. It's a nice, tall, 6-foot privacy fence that goes around the back of our property. So not only is it nice, just feeling a little bit more private and a little bit more secluded, but of course, my fur babies are able to run all over the backyard and they have much more space than we had before. So that's lovely. I also just finished doing a flash sale with my reading business, which you can find on Facebook. The business page is called Gypsy Jasmine, but I have started doing kind of an SBAT flash sale where every month I'm starting a lunar program for my readings. So all of my other readings and all my other services are at a regular price. But every month around the time of the full moon, I'm going to be doing a discounted reading in regards to that lunar cycle and that moon phase. So the first one I have done is the harvest moon. And I did a discounted reading in relation to the harvest moon. And the spread was basically in kind of along the lines of, the harvest moon being about prosperity and abundance and really seeing the fruits of your labor, and also what is blocking your abundance, and also what work still needs to be done in the coming, in the rest of the year, the last 4 months of the year, as well as what energy should really be focused to be invoked and what energy should really be banished or evoked during this moon phase. And I decided that I wanted to do something like this where I wanted to kind of incorporate the moon, the Esbat and the lunar cycle and the moon phase into a very tangible construct. And I'm sure I'm not the first reader or intuitive or psychic or medium to think about this. But it was a really big hit. And so I got really busy with that, which was amazing because I love the work. So it's very fulfilling, very rewarding. It can be a little bit draining, but it's definitely something that I'm very passionate about and that I really have my heart in and that I really, really enjoy. So that was lovely. I'm still going to my belly dance classes. Those are on Wednesdays. And that's going so far so good. I've been practicing, practicing, practicing. Um, and what else? I'm trying to think. I got a new diffuser here in my witchy space, which is great. I have another one in the living room and I have one in our bedroom, but now I have one in this room as well, which is great, especially because I also I do hair at a barber shop, but I also have clients, in-house clients, where I do a lot more women's hair from home, lash extensions, waxing, facials, things of that nature, also haircuts, styling, color, etc., etc. Um, and so it just kind of is nice because not everyone is very smoke tolerant. And I do burn a lot of smudges or incense or loose incense and burning charcoal in my cauldron. And just there's a lot of smoke in here. Something gets lit on fire at least daily in this room. So when I do have a client, it'll be nice to be able to still have an aromatic property and correspondence and intention going without it potentially causing someone who's very asthmatic any issues, because I want to make sure I'm inclusive and accommodating to all of my clients. And that goes also for in-house readings as well, because some of my readings I do online via Skype or Facebook Messenger video call. Sometimes I just do emails. It really just kind of depends on what the client wants. But I do have a good handful of clients who actually come for in-house readings as well. So the diffuser will be nice for those clients who, like I said, are as smoke tolerant. I'm trying to think. I'm still working on my tarot project, which I've just uploaded a couple videos to that. I'm going through the major arcana right now and just kind of breaking it down to a base level. So I just feel like, and I've said this before, I feel like tarot is such a structured system that sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming. for some people, because I feel like most people, when it comes to cards, kind of either go the oracle route, which is a little bit more intuitive and creative and free form, or I feel like people go the tarot route, which is just as amazing, but it does have a lot more logic and symbolism and structure and order within that um, branch of card reading. So sometimes, like for me, I'm very much more naturally inclined to the oracle route. Sometimes when I was first learning tarot, I would get really overwhelmed just because there was such a set up structured system. And also, I felt when I was first learning tarot that I wasn't able to use as much as my psychic abilities and my intuition because of the structured system. But I think that using tarot as the system that it is, um, when you are intuitive or when you do have psychic abilities and bringing those two worlds of logic and reason and creativity and intuition together is a really beautiful thing. And I think that everyone, of course, who's interested, should really try to walk in both worlds, the oracle and the tarot world. I think that's important, and I think that would make a well-rounded divination practice as far as cards go. I did get my nails put back on, thank the gods. I had to take them off for that surgery on my hand, but I've got them put back on just because I literally could not wait any longer. I was trying during this process, I was really, really trying to let my nails get healthy again and, put the strengtheners on them and the proteins on them because I've been having acrylic nails since 8th grade, I think. So it's been a long time since my nails have had a break. So it was good for them to breathe a little bit, but I just had to get right back to it because I just can't go without my nails. Well, I just can't. No. Which I am doing something different this time because I was like, you know what? I want to do something completely different. I want to do something because I've been sticking with the stiletto pointed nail, typically black or a metallic color for a while, which is lovely. And I might go back to that. But I decided to do like really short this time. This is short for me. Some of you might be looking at my nails being like, girl, those are long. This is actually very short for me. And I usually don't do a red color. This is a very inspired by Maven and autumnal equinox sort of vibes. It has like a copper base color, I would say, but then it also has kind of shades of violet and scarlet. And so it definitely reminds me of September and the apples, the red delicious, and how some of the leaves are starting to turn and change. And oh my gosh, okay. Speaking of leaves, so I might have showed this tattoo in another video on my channel, I think called Magical Tattoos, maybe. But I have a red leaf tattoo by my ankle on my left leg. And the whole reasoning behind that is it's actually a memorial tattoo for my living grandmother. I've talked about her a couple times on my channel, but her birthday was September 5th, which is when we had our harvest moon. And she is making 82 look very good. And so my sister and I took her out for lunch and we did the whole gift exchange. And it was a really, really beautiful afternoon. And it was just amazing to be able to spend that time with family and to be able to honor her as the crone that she is. And, I remember I was talking to her on the phone before we went out to lunch, and I was like, how does it feel to be 82? And, she was like, well, it actually doesn't feel that much different than it felt to be 81. She was like, I just kind of feel like I've earned another jewel on my crown of cronehood. And I just loved that because I thought that was like so cool. And, my sister, her and I were talking before we got there, before we got to the restaurant that we had reservations at to celebrate her birthday. And my sister was like, oh my gosh, like, because she's going to be approaching 27 And she's talking about how, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I'm gonna be 27. I feel so old. Da 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 da. Like, I'm not a teeny bopper anymore. Blah blah blah. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if it's just because the experiences I've had or how age has very much been looked at least in my perspective of our family. Um, but I was just like, there's people who don't live, even to be 27. I mean, aging is kind of a privilege. Every laugh line and smile line and wrinkle is kind of earned in a way. Gray hair is crowning of wisdom, and there's many people who don't get the privilege of experiencing that and going through that phase in their life. So it just put a lot of things in perspective for me, especially talking with my grandmother, who I call Grams, and just really hearing more about her reality and her experience and perspective. And it's interesting, especially talking to, our great mothers or our great fathers, because if you really sit there and listen to them, it's interesting because it's like they've lived multiple lives, honestly. Like where she was at and what she was doing and who she was seeing and what she was interested in and her activities that she indulged herself in when she was in her 20s versus her 40s, now her 80s. It's just totally different. It's like this spirit just evolves and changes and transforms over time. And I just really, really value her and really appreciate her for who she is and for what she's been through and the stories that she has to tell. I love my Grams. So I was really, really happy and really excited that we were able to celebrate her birthday. And both of our birthdays are in fall. And oftentimes we do celebrate them together, but I wanted to make sure that we this year celebrated just her. And we can celebrate me another time, but I really wanted the focus to be on her this year. And the autumn leaf tattoo that I was mentioning earlier, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it in my magical tattoos video, but if I did not, I will kind of just briefly explain it. So my Grams always talks about how when she goes, she wants to go like a red leaf. She wants to go gracefully and easily and beautifully, just like the red leaves in autumn do. And of course, both of our birthdays are in fall, and we're both very much into everything fall, everything autumn, pumpkin spice, apple cider, cinnamon, clove, Samhain, Halloween, spirit work, all of that. We're very, very much into the fall decor, the color scheme. It's lovely. She's a Virgo, I'm a Libra. And her favorite color is red. And she always, always, always would never leave the house without her red lipstick on. And it's just so precious and so adorable. And I got this tattoo, I think 3 or 4 years ago, and I knew exactly what I wanted to get because for me, tattoos are so symbolic and have so much intention in them. And I knew I wanted to get something to honor her because she has been such an influential figure in my life, especially since she really did help raise me in a lot of ways. So I really wanted to value that and honor that chapter of my life and also honor her. And absolutely, I knew I wanted to get an autumn leaf. And of course, I got it in red to symbolize the red leaves of autumn and also to symbolize her red lipstick. And I got it on my left ankle specifically because my heart's on my left side. And it kind of is this representation of it being by my ankle of her being with me every step of my journey, like she always has been. And even though she's still totally here, she's happy, she's healthy, she's sober, she's thriving, she's still successful, she's still working. Um, I wanted to go ahead and get that because I knew it was so important to me. And it was really awesome being able to get a memorial tattoo for someone who's living because then you really just get this 3D reaction from them. And she thought it was the coolest thing that I had gotten that. And she tells all of her friends and her little wolf pack, and she just tells everyone about how cool she thinks it is. And that, of course, makes me super stoked and excited. So yeah, I just kind of went on a little rant about my Grams, but Yeah, overall, guys, I mean, I'm good. I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm thriving, and I'm very blessed, and I'm just feeling very, very gracious for the life that I have. And I almost feel guilty in a way for that because we are having all of these awful tropical storms down south and in Florida. And we had Harvey hit Texas, and then we had Irma hitting Florida with Jose behind Irma, and it's just nuts. And I have family down there. My partner has family down there. His mother has evacuated Florida and is staying with us, which is so nice to see her. And it's wonderful to be able to be close to family and to visit, but it's, you know, I wish the conditions were different, and we have loved ones down there, and it's crazy. I mean, this hurricane is massive and it's threatening, and it's definitely going to do some damage. And there's people who the death count has already started, and it's just like, what do we do in this situation? I know that for me, it definitely puts a lot of things in perspective for me. And that's why all these feelings of gratitude when I know that our brothers and sisters down south um, are going through such a hard time. So it almost makes you feel guilty in a way because you know that there's so much strife going on. I know that I personally have done my own layer of protection work to try to help the people I can in Florida, you know, my friends, my family, and anyone else who would be open to that energy of protection. And, you know, what's one witch against a massive hurricane? Who knows? But of course, I would always try to send out the intentions of protection and safety and love and you know, it's just, I don't know what else to do during this time. I don't know. And of course, naturally, I want to be able to be of service to others and to help them, but it's just, it's horrible because that's a natural force of nature that can't just be stopped by lighting a candle or saying an incantation. It can't be manipulated or changed. I don't think that something like the weather is really, as a witch, something we are able to manipulate or control. I definitely think that, sure, yeah, it could be influenced, but manipulated, no, I don't buy that. I don't think so. I think there are many things in this realm, in this world, that are just out of our control, even as witches. And I think recognizing that is important. I got this cup last year at Spirit Halloween, and it's my favorite tea mug. And I'm really, really excited that Samhain, Halloween, fall is approaching because all those Spirit Halloween or, you know, pop-up stores like that after Halloween or October 31st, they all go on major, major, major discounts. And so that's a time where I like to get, some people call it Halloween decorations. I call it home decor. I like to stock up on those fun goodies as well as like I have a Ouija board mug like this, and I also have Ouija board dish rags and oven rags and an oven mitt and a spider web doormat. So yeah, you can just find all types of cool stuff. But yeah, that's about really all I have for tonight. And I've rambled almost for 20 minutes now, so I'm going to cut myself off. But I hope all of you are safe. Like I said, especially with all these storms. I know that I live here in Indiana, and I know that we're going to feel some of the aftermath of this hurricane as far as we're going to be having some rain showers, some scattered, or not scattered showers, but some thunderstorms, and some of the tail ends of the winds that will sweep up here indefinitely. Um, it won't cause nearly as much damage as what's happened in Texas and Florida, but we will still be able to feel, even on an energetic sense, the aftermath of the devastation and chaos that is going on right now in the South. So I hope all of you are safe, and I hope all of you have as good of a night as you can possibly have during this very tumultuous time. And blessed be. Bye, guys.